scene. Class vs. class. The mastermind of this operation is Jason Levine. Class vs. class. With the help of his scruffy buddy, 85 to the RGT. Class vs. class.
Good evening, all you beautiful, beautiful people and you average ones. Welcome to the Class vs. Crass Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Hey Jay, and joining me as always, Detective Pikachu. Screw this other bum in the podcast.
That's rude.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, oh great YouTuber of 200,000 subs.
I'm not there yet.
No, I thought you crossed it by now.
Nah.
Welcome RGT to the 85.
Thank you. Good to be here.
How are you?
I'm alright.
You all hot pocketed up?
Yeah, I just ate in a hot pocket. I'm hungry.
Okay, yeah, let's go through the ground rules. If this is your first time joining us, I'm sorry. Tonight's going to be really chill. We usually have a structure, but treat tonight like a hangout. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself some pickles. I got mine. And we're just going to hang out and talk about video games. It was fairly quiet in gaming news, sort of.
Everyone's saying my mic is low.
It is, because I was streaming yesterday and I had to adjust. But if you speak now, it should be good.
You did it.
Yay. All right, we're all good. Actually, you're a little loud. Bring it back down. All right. We fixed the sound issues. Anyway, it's a 1-hour podcast where we usually talk about the games we're playing, what's in the news, and then we take your user topics and questions at the end in the lightning round. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Nintendo Switch turning 2 years old. We're going to be talking about the Pokemon Direct. We're going to be talking about things. I have a topic for you, Sean. I want to hear your thoughts on the gaming industry as a whole, and we're going to get into that later. Because I was talking with a friend of ours named Rerez today, and he got my mind going with some new ideas. So we're going to talk about that. Can we... That intro that Wood did, is it a one-off? Or does he play that in all his videos?
He uses it sometimes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a one thing. All right, well, let's get it started with what have you been playing?
Not a whole lot this past week, honestly. I've been playing a lot of Star Fox Assault on the GameCube.
Really? That's a good game. I saw you were appreciating it.
Strangely enough, I got it in a retro game treasure box, and I haven't played it in forever, and I've been really enjoying it. Like, it's super good, and I don't think enough people really talk about it. They should do like an HD remaster of that game, because it has all the elements that people like. You know, the on-foot segments aren't great, but they're not bad.
But the flight segments are really good.
Yeah, and I mean the on-foot segments are just sort of a product of the times. Like, you know, a lot of third-person shooters felt like that at the time, so they could clean that up. But yeah, I've been actually really enjoying that game. Just some random indies on the eShop here and there, but nothing really crazy, honestly.
Hey, I also played an indie game on the eShop.
You played Ape Out.
I did.
Was it any good? They sent me a code, but I haven't checked it out.
I'll admit it was a spontaneous purchase. I wasn't really that into it, but I don't know if Mr. Unforgiven is still in the chat here. He was going crazy about it, just going everywhere yelling Ape Out. He's probably going to yell it right now too. And I like Devolver Digital. They make good stuff. I say this, but I think I've only bought 2 other games. So it's works out to $20 in Canada after taxes and everything. It's pretty, like, it's fun. Yesterday was stressful, so it's really fun to just like run around as an ape, and push people into walls and kill and see them explode. Like, there's a very good like feedback to killing people. Mm-hmm. There he is. So it's a fun game. It's very like, it's one of those things that, you know, I feel like if you're at a party or something and you see someone play it, you're like, cool, what's that? And then they hand you the controller, you'll want to play it for like, 10, 20 minutes. But right. to purchase it and own it, and like, it's not a game. Like yesterday I played an hour of it, made it through 2 worlds and halfway through the 3rd. And like, I was good. Like, I played enough of this. So it's one of those games that if you're the type of gamer that likes to have like game sessions of 20 minutes at a time or so, it's good for that, right, like half hour. But it's not one of those games where you're gonna, pick up for 3 hours at a time and go nuts.
It's a pick up and play. It's a pick up and play game.
Yeah, it has 2 buttons. You've got the run button and the push button. And there's the grab button. There's 3 buttons. Mm. So you can hold people hostage, and you can shove them into other people. And that's pretty much it. You just run around and you push people.
It sounds fun.
It is fun. That's the thing. It's fun. I wish there was more to it, though.
Right.
That's it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's all I've been playing. It's been pretty quiet this week. I've been working a lot, which is the problem. What else did I play? Oh yeah, I played some Fortnite the other day. Season 8 is now out.
The banana?
The banana. Going for the banana. Are you going for the banana?
No.
Not a banana man?
I used to eat bananas when I was a kid,
What
and
happened?
then I guess I ate too many because now like the thought of a banana disgusts me.
Did you like put it too deep in your mouth?
I was a child, you fucking weirdo. But no, like I just ate too many as a kid, and then like when I say a kid, like I mean like super young, because like from the ages of like 5 on, I've thought they were disgusting.
I've never heard, like, usually when you like something and you eat a lot of it, you don't like hate it for life after.
I don't know, but
Okay,
bananas are that like just the thought of a banana is like fucking gross.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I don't like about pickles? Like, say I'm enjoying my time with this pickle, and I like to hold my fork this way with the pickle up. But because the pickle is so wet, like, there's pickle juice that then falls onto my hand, and that's not an enjoyable experience. I don't like that.
I'm sorry.
Someone should make dry pickles.
That would be disgusting.
Probably. You know, it's funny because I used to eat like a lot of sardines as a kid, strangely enough. Like, you give me a can of sardines and I just eat that. And same thing after, I don't think I ate them like at the frequency that you ate bananas, but after the age of 5 or 6, I couldn't eat sardines anymore. Like, I don't like them.
So it was the same thing.
Yeah, but I didn't
It's the same thing you yelled at me about.
What do you mean yell at you?
Who likes something and then doesn't like something?
Okay. You have a point there, sir. What do you mean Siggy sour? Dry off your pickle.
I mean, you could technically.
But it's so this is the thing about pickle. You can dry a pickle, but it's still wet. Like, it's eternally wet. It's always leaking pickle juice, you know?
Well, that's from the inside.
Right.
I think he's talking about the exterior.
So here's a tip that I've learned. Do you eat hummus? Do you like hummus? Do you know what hummus is?
I know what hummus is, but I'm not interested in it.
Okay, not surprised. So, hummus, at least around here, is traditionally eaten with carrots, which is a good combo. This is hummus, by the way. This is what it looks like. This is garlic hummus. And going on some online forums about food, I learned that pickle and hummus is apparently a thing in like the Middle East. I was like, that's a very strange combo. So I've been dipping my pickles in the hummus lately. And this is the problem. There's pickle juice that falls in the hummus. So I like to eat like right out of the container. And when I'm dipping my carrots in here, it's fine. It's like the carrot is dry. But when I dip a pickle in here, then my hummus gets contaminated with pickle juice and it just ruins the experience.
First world problems.
It is. Wow, that's all we've been playing, eh? Usually we can stretch that topic a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really play much this past week.
What have you been doing this past week?
Just other stuff.
Okay. How about that Pokemon Direct, though? Did you wake up for it?
I did.
Love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
I liked it. I think the starters are kind of boring, honestly.
They really have been for the last few gens.
But see, I'm not, I haven't really played a modern Pokemon game recently as far as like a mainline one. So I'm not like super familiar with them. But yeah, I thought maybe not necessarily how they act, but just the way they looked, I thought was kind of meh. There wasn't one that really stood. I mean, obviously I'm going to be the monkey with the stick, but yeah, I thought just a little boring on the main characters, but I like the look of the game. A lot of people don't seem to. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. There seems to be a group of people that don't seem to like it.
The vocal minority.
Yeah, I would say more so than with Link's Awakening though. Like Link's Awakening was a small vocal minority, but I think there's more people that are upset with Pokemon's graphics than there are with Link's Awakenings.
So there's two camps of thoughts here. When Let's Go was announced, the immediate reaction was we want Gen 8, and everybody was like, why can't this be Gen 8, right? And I feel that's exactly what they got. And with the commotion that was happening with Let's Go's announcement, like Gen 8 just seems to make sense. The Switch hasn't been out that long. It's only been 2 years. I think it was pretty self-evident that they would be working off of a Let's Go platform, which actually is polished a little bit more. But it's exactly what the traditionalists want. Like the people that were mad about Let's Go was because it was departing from what they were used to. And Gen 8 seems to be giving exactly the classic experience. Personally, I don't care for it. Like, I've had that experience. I don't need it again. But if you look at the sales numbers of Pokemon, it's a flat line. Like, every generation sells good. So why would you change your formula when you're selling, right?
Well, I mean, it is. I do sort of understand it. It's the first time that a mainline Pokemon has been on a home console. And, you know, Game Freak isn't really known for their, you know, they're not known for graphics. But in the same breath, Town looked really good, I thought. So, I don't know. I think people wanted a mixture of what they showed with Town, a mixture of what Yokai Watch 4 is doing, a mixture of Pokemon, and then Breath of the Wild. I think people wanted this big open experience because of the jump that you saw between, you know, with Zelda and Breath of the Wild, with Mario and Mario Odyssey. I guess people were expecting something like that.
Yeah, I think the expectation is this is the first time Pokemon's, well, if you don't count Let's Go, it's the first time it's jumping from the, you know, the 3DS graphics into a full Switch. And that's the second camp of thought I was going to get to, is just people wanting the series to evolve. And like, hey, you got HD graphics, but, you know, I think people wanted more. But who knows? We could get a lot more information. You know, there wasn't that much revealed. Maybe they want to lead us one way just to surprise us later, but who knows? It's still,
what do you think of the fact that it appears that it'll be random battles instead of seeing them on the overmap?
Don't like that. I was a big fan of the random battle, or sorry, the seeing them on the overworld. And I think there's a lot of journalists who are older than 30 who made a point and a case that that model works better for people with less time to game, like people who have to balance more things in their life between work and family. And the random battle system is just kind of a, I don't know, it's an outdated model. I don't like it. Yourself?
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, I thought that was one of the good parts of Let's Go.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, because it sort of took out the guessing game. Like, you're not just randomly running around in an area hoping that a certain type of Pokemon is there because that's what's supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And dodging all the Zubats in Mount Moon. Oh,
right.
Fantastic. Like, you want to farm some Geodudes? Go for Geodudes. Get away, Zubats. I mean, they could have kept that element of Let's Go and just replaced the whole throwing mechanic, which was another thing people didn't like, with the normal battle system, right?
Ideally. I mean, the throwing mechanic wasn't great.
Oh. I didn't mind it so much, but I didn't love it either. But it goes back to, you know, the incentive of the Pokemon company to take risk. Their games are constantly selling the same amount, and, you know, whether that's good or not, I have no insight there. You look at a franchise like Zelda, some titles sell well, some titles sell less well. I feel that there's more room there to take a risk on the level of Breath of the Wild. And there was also more, I guess, creativity and iteration throughout the franchise, that something like that makes sense. You know?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I was laughing at what Jose said.
Slow.
No, I think that's
yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. But let's segue into the Switch turning 2. We did this last year, and it wasn't much of a conversation. After 1 year, it was like, you look at 2017 and the early part of 2018, and it was a pretty stellar year for the Switch. You know, you had Breath of the Wild, you had Mario Odyssey, you had Mario Kart, you had a bunch of stuff. But now I feel the honeymoon phase is over. You know, we're entering year 2. You got a ton of third-party support. You have an eShop that's bursting out of the seams with garbage. You have every port and its mothers being coming over from the PS2 era to the Game Boy era. Pretty much gaming from all eras coming here. The Switch has definitely cemented itself as the place to game if you want to touch old IPs or are into retro gaming, like retro gaming on a modern console. If we're not talking about all of those retro console clones, the Switch is the place to be.
Right.
You have all of these. You have Konami coming back with old IPs. Capcom is really playing up the nostalgia and bringing back old IPs. Just a lot of old IPs coming back, and they are selling best on Switch. So I think, year 2 has really shown that if you like these old games, the Switch is where you want to be. It's kind of sparking and playing to that nostalgia. It's also been the year where I think we're seeing a lot more Wii U ports, trying to fill the gap. I think it's the more obvious struggle. We have Metroid Prime 4 that's now just been kind of blown out of the release window, of the imminent release window. But we're entering year 3 now with a very promising outlook. I feel that the library has filled out very comfortably in year 2. A lot of people probably didn't like that, but for better or for worse, the library is massive and solid. You can get a ton of stuff on the Switch, regardless of what point you're coming into your gaming career, right? And now into year 3, we're going in with Pokemon, Animal Crossing. What are the other big ones? You got Bayonetta 3, Astral Chain. Like, there's a ton of stuff coming in year 3. Year 3 seems better than year 2.
I don't know if Bayonetta is going to come out this year.
You feeling bad about it?
No, I just don't think it's going to come out this year.
Why? Because we're not hearing about it?
Well, Astral Chain got a release date.
True. That's a good point. So what are your thoughts on year 2 and year 3? Have I missed anything in my assessment, or do you disagree?
No, I mean, year 2 was kind of a, you didn't get those same good first party Nintendo titles, but you got a lot of other stuff. You got a lot of filler, for lack of a better term. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, once again, Hyrule Warriors, Kirby was kind of filler, and then you ended it with Smash Brothers. So obviously, that sort of re-sparked it going into 2019. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting year. You're going to see a lot of third-party stuff. You're already starting to see, some third-party stuff that maybe you didn't expect to be on there. Mortal Kombat 11, and I think it's just going to continue to increase. It just needs to be a really good year, because with the future of gaming and all of the unknowns with the new consoles, it needs to be a very strong year.
And this actually is perfect. You're really leading this great into what I was talking with Shane today. Shane was really looking at, what PlayStation is doing, what Xbox is doing. They're setting themselves up for their next console cycle. And you're already starting to see the pieces come together. And I really wish I invited Shane for this podcast, because he was knocking on Nintendo, pretty much saying like Nintendo's dead in the water. He's always got this really interesting point of view that the market that they took with the Switch was their own market. The mobile market belonged to the 3DS, and the Switch just took that. So it didn't really expand Nintendo's reach, if you will. And now you've got Microsoft that is strategically positioning itself with the acquisition of tons of studio. I don't know where he got his source, but apparently Microsoft is actually offering these studios like a blank check to make any game they want, but it has to be out in 2 years in anticipation for the new console. Meaning, if that is true, that means Microsoft's going to be coming out of the gate like hitting hard with the new console. And we're also seeing setting themselves up with, Game Pass has really flourished over the past year. You've got their game services filling up, and they're kind of bowing out a little bit of the hardware, saying, we're not so attached to hardware. We don't, they're probably the weakest of the three when it comes to hardware. So that's kind of what we're seeing from Microsoft. PlayStation is doing a lot of weird stuff. Like it's almost like the water is receding before, what do you call it, a tidal wave comes in. Like they're pulling out of E3. There's rumors about the PlayStation 5 doing a bigger push on VR, and you know me, and I think you're on this boat too. VR, like I don't believe in VR. I don't believe in the future of VR, but people are saying PlayStation has figured out VR, and it's all because of this. I don't know if you've played it. It's like Astro Boy or something. Like there's like this little robot game that everybody's,
I know what it is.
Everybody's calling it the Mario 64. Like it's the Mario 64 of VR.
I don't think VR needs to be figured out. I just think VR needs to be addressed as something that's not going to be popular. It's not going to be mainstream. You have a system that's sold over 80 million systems, probably close to 90 million systems, and you've sold like what, 2 million?
2 million, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the mass audiences really enjoy it.
So that's the thing. I thought that conversation was over, that VR is coming mainstream. I thought we were all kind of in agreement that everyone thought that 2 years ago. They tried, they failed. But some people seem to believe that that is still the unique feature. And if PlayStation is going to place its bets on the PS5 catering more towards the VR, I'm not sold on it. Talking to Shane, though, he's very convinced that PSVR is going to be, the PSVR 2 or whatever they're going to call it, is going to be a big deal. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts in
what's going to make it a big deal. Well, what games are going to be on it? How is it gonna get into the mass market? Is it come complete with the system at no additional cost, or do I have to spend a shit ton of money to get this headset?
Well, he's saying that that's what's happening now that they've figured out the formula, which is whatever this VR game that I haven't played has done. The reason that we're not really, like, PlayStation's pretty quiet. We don't really know what they're working on. And apparently
because of one game, they're like, holy shit, this game didn't sell for dick because nobody bought the PlayStation VR, but it was a fucking good game. So now this is what we're going to put all our chips in. Like that's some of the stupidest logic I've ever heard.
I can't speak to it because I haven't played it, but you know, I saw Izzy, the YouTuber Izzy, also mentioned the same thing on his Twitter feed, just having his mind blown by this game. So I'm really curious. Shane has invited me to go over to his place to try this, and I'm going to take him up on it.
It got good reviews. Wow, you fucking made a good video game. Whoop-de-fucking do. If you took away the headset, it would... No, I don't fucking play VR. I'm not going to waste money. I was about to say I'm not going to waste money on something I'm not going to play, but fuck, I do
As you look over to your right.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna buy VR. Like Tranos Realm said, AR has a better chance of being mainstream than VR.
What has a better chance?
Augmented reality.
Augmented.
And that failed. Yeah. And the 3D portion of the 3DS nobody cared about.
Right.
Nobody cares about this shit. They just want to fucking play normal video games on a television.
And that's exactly what I feel Nintendo is finally embracing. And the third parties that are looking back on Nintendo, they're not trying to go for anything crazy. They're just focusing on video games.
That's what people want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think
so too.
The market seems to think that as well, with how, you know, sales are done and statistics and all that. So
damn statistics. I read this great article I shared in the Discord server last week. It was a look at Square Enix and how they've actually, you know, Square Enix did this big push for mobile, right, in the last few years, and then they realized, oh shit, there's like no loyalty in the mobile audience, and the new the current CEO changed strategies about a year or two ago in investing in these like quote unquote AA titles like Octopath Traveler. Did that come out this year? That was this year as well. That was in year 2. So weird. But yeah, Square Enix is basically taking its old IPs, instead of like putting everything into these massive 10-year Final Fantasy games that, you know, you don't see any money come back in. They're looking more at doing these smaller games that they can actually like make revenue, do episodic games where they can get a little bit of revenue to keep development going. And it's working well for them because they're giving the gaming audience what we want. Like, there are these IPs that we know of and that we love, and we love them because they're a certain way. Like, they don't all need to evolve and be shoehorned into the latest technology. And I think they're finally starting to get it. Some companies are getting it. Others, not so much.
But no,
the Japanese companies are getting it, I would say.
Well, I mean, to some degree, they still do too much mobile shit, and episodic gaming, I don't think is going to be very successful for it. The whole problem with episodic gaming is the Walking Dead Telltale series did it, and it was successful for a while, but it had nothing to do with it being episodic. It had everything to do with people being batshit crazy over The Walking Dead at the time. Like, it was the hottest television show.
Right.
And now that all that hype for the show is dying down and it's just sort of dragging on, nobody cares. Nobody
Right.
cares.
But yeah, there's definitely caveats to an episodic system, but I can see the advantage from the developer perspective. If you have a really long development cycle and it's like, wow, are we going to keep absorbing losses? Like, especially depending if you have revenue or not coming in from other projects. Like, you know, Final Fantasy VII, you know that's going to cost a lot of money to develop. And, you know, if it's developed over 10 years, you're pouring in millions and millions of dollars and not seeing a dollar back. So, like, that's why they were suggesting to do Final Fantasy VII as an episodic release as well. You know, at least then after 2-3 years, boom, you get a little bit more revenue. It's not so bad on the company. It's not so stressful on the company's finances.
All right. I mean, that's fair, but then what do you do if the series isn't going well and you're not making that money back? You just abandon it.
Then it gets axed. I think Hitman did also did it episodically, didn't they?
Yeah, and it failed miserably, and then they went back to a normal.
Oh, did
thing.
it? Oh shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that part. What's they did? Life is Strange was also episodic, but I feel like that was done more strategically than anything, because wasn't each episode released like every 2-3 weeks? Like that's
Life is Strange also has, you know, Kotaku, Polygon, and all the woke websites sucking its dick dry.
Websites. I like that.
You know, the average episodic game is not going to get that sort of publicity. You know, especially not a AAA game. It's like, wow,
Right.
it's just groundbreaking storytelling here. It's like, okay, whatever.
I think ideally, you know, as Siggy Sauer is saying here, good IPs are the answer, not episodic. If we could ditch episodic and in favor put in mid-sized games, like give me a game that has a development cycle of 2 years and use the funding of that to help fund your AAA that's taking 7 years, right?
Or just change what a AAA game is. That's my... If you're broke, should you have a kid?
No.
If you're broke, should you go buy a new car?
No.
If you're broke, should you go buy a new
point.
TV?
No.
Okay. So do things within your budget.
Right.
If you can't afford to make this huge fucking game, don't make this huge fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
If your whole company hinges on this game being successful, you're probably not doing a good job of managing your finances. Like, people, I don't understand. That's just a problem with humanity in general.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers, oh, I can't afford this, so I'm gonna buy it. Like, what? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, but you have to admit that when you start developing a game, whether you have the money or not for it, 5 years down the road, you don't know what the environment's going to be, what the release window is going to be. You know, you could be working on this 3-tile puzzle match game for like 2-3 years. You release it on the same week as Tetris 99. And that's just bad luck. Like you're going to lose money compared to if you would have released it a year earlier.
But that 3-tile Tetris game isn't going to take you.
Okay, that was a bad example.
Isn't going to take you years. It's not going to cost you billions of dollars. Like, I'm just so sick of it. Like, it's stupid to me. If you can't afford something, don't do it.
Right.
The end.
But there's risk to it. Like, do you acknowledge that sometimes you could have the best intentions, the best game, you release it and it flops, and then when it flops, that hurts. That's a lot. That's a huge money loss.
But that's any form of entertainment. Any form of entertainment. Movies, albums, books. They all are suspect to that.
Okay, so let me.
They are susceptible to that.
Let me take your metaphor. If you're broke, should you buy a house? No. Okay. You have the money to buy a house. You buy a house. After the first week, it burns down. Should you buy another house? Because now you're broke and you can't.
You use your insurance money.
Okay, now you're stretching the metaphor too much.
I'm not stretching the metaphor.
There's no insurance in a dev for a game that flops.
Well, then your analogy just doesn't work. I'm just saying you should have some sort of at least in the back of your mind, an idea or a plan or something. Like I get pouring your heart and soul into something, and I get pouring all your money into it. But in the same breath, if that project doesn't do well for whatever reason, I could have empathy for it, but I don't necessarily have sympathy for it.
Yeah, I'm not saying, okay.
Like I can feel bad, I don't like when, companies downsize and all that shit. But if you notice, most of the companies that downsize or that close studios or that close branches, especially in the past, 5 to 10 years, have been subsidies of these bigger companies that can easily afford it. Like the whole Activision thing and Bobby Kotick, whatever the fuck his name is, taking this huge ass salary, and EA subsidies closing down. It's like your average video game company isn't closing down anymore. If anything, it's made it easier for video game companies to become a thing because of a digital marketplace.
Right.
Yeah, somehow, some way, I'm supposed to feel bad when Anthem flops.
Well, we're not saying feel bad. We're just saying if episodic is a good idea.
Well, but at the end of the day, I'm a consumer at the end of the day, like it's their job to make something that's good. Yep. And if they make something that's good and I enjoy it, but others don't enjoy it, unfortunately, that's a side effect. I mean, look, you think someone like Tyler Perry was putting, every dollar he had into one of his shitty comedy movies that somehow now he's like one of the richest humans alive? Like, those movies are terrible, but they're, people still watch them. People still go to them because he understood the business marketplace, and you have to understand it. You have to understand what you're getting into. Yeah. And just I feel like a lot of these companies, they just, oh, we need more power to develop this game. We need more power. We need more power. No, you need to fucking look at your finances and then also regulate your finances to a point of where you're not, and I'm not saying that there shouldn't be people, there's some sort of contingency. I don't know if you have this in Canada, but there's this contingency where it's like, people who are very successful and have, millions and billions of dollars, like they're bad people because, they don't do enough for the community, and they have all this fancy stuff. Who needs all this fancy stuff? I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck how much money. If you have $100 billion trillion, I'm making up shit. If you have $100 billion trillion, you know what? More than likely, either you or someone in your family had to bust their fucking ass to get that. So whatever, that's your money, that's your thing. But at the same time, fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I'm not seeing where you're going with this.
I was gonna equate it to a video game company.
All right. But this is all about if episodic. I was just arguing for the benefit of episodes. The whole thing with Anthem is a great example because that's a game with a high budget. It flopped. It wasn't episodic. And I have no sympathy there because that was
it hasn't flopped, quote unquote, yet, but it's not doing up to expectations, and BioWare's potentially in trouble.
You're right. They can potentially spin it so it's not a flop, which is one of the advantages of
that's the thing. That's the thing with EA in general, though. Battlefront 2 was a flop,
according to them, yes.
And it sold what, 10 million?
Something like that, yeah.
If you need to sell 10 million games and that's still a flop,
salaries, man, they're expensive.
And I mean, I understand. That's where I was going with that. Like, I understand. I don't care how much the CEOs are necessarily making, as long as the company is doing good. If the company is not doing good and you're having to close down, prominent studios within your company, yet you're posting record-breaking, bonuses and shit like that for yourself personally, that's where the problem comes into play. Inherently speaking, if EA was doing great, or Activision was doing great and they weren't laying off people, and this dude had, $500 trillion and 77 yachts and shit, nobody should give a fuck because he's successful. He's making this happen. Nobody should be chastising this guy. But when the company is not doing well and there's shit happening within the company and people are getting laid off and stuff like that, That's where the problem comes into play.
I mean, I agree with you. Is anybody really complaining when things are going well and they're not firing people? Is that a thing?
No, well, I mean, look at any major company. Like, people like to fucking crucify this Amazon guy. Like, oh, he has too much fucking money. Fuck off. What business is that?
The guy innovated.
Amazon is fucking, the guy, like, it's not like he woke up one day and was sitting on a pile of money. No. Like, he fucking busted his ass. He made this company. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants. That has no bearing on your miserable ass fucking life where you just want everything to fucking fall into place for you. Life sucks. You know, some people have it super easy. Some people have it super hard. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, I don't know. It's just such a weird. It's like it's part of the social media generation, though. You never heard about shit like this before, but now it's like you have all these people on Twitter who are, you know, selling customized rat sweaters on their Etsy shop, and they're like, I should make as much money as Bezos from Amazon. Like, okay,
wasn't he?
I wish you success, but he had a broader scale. He had a broader.
Wasn't that guy in a commercial like in the 90s before?
I don't know.
I'm actually looking at his Wikipedia page because I swear that he.
No. It's just so weird to me. Like,
it is.
Who cares?
We've fallen far from a video game podcast here.
No, it's about CEOs of major video game companies.
I suppose so.
And like I said, my whole thing is make your money, do whatever the fuck you're doing, be successful, have 1 million yachts and 1 million hookers. That has no bearing on me. But if your company is doing shitty and you're closing studios and you're, you know, not doing well, and then all of a sudden you're still doing these huge bonuses, you're still doing all this stuff, then it becomes a problem, right? I feel. But
and, you know,
other than that,
Arfin's saying it in the chat, and I just want to, I think we weren't saying it because we think it's common knowledge, but, you know, Iwata 4 years ago, when Nintendo was down, he took a pay cut to keep all of his employees. And I think that needs to be acknowledged here. I think that, to me, is proper leadership. And it goes along with what you're saying. When your company's going down, don't just push everyone off the boat and save your own skin and keep your own, you know, your 20 yachts and stuff. But, like, you know, reward your employees' loyalties and take responsibility. That's the thing. A CEO is supposed to be a leader, and a leader should be taking responsibility for whatever they are leading, whether it's good or bad. So when times are bad, well, guess what? The first person to take the hit should be the CEO. Like that's the reason that they're getting paid so much, because they are at most risk. They are making the decisions that either make a company sink or swim. I feel we're both just beating the same dead cat at this point, though.
No, but I mean, you say it a little bit more eloquently and differently than I do.
You say it more raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw.
So, you getting those Resident Evil games this year?
Fuck off. I mean, of course I am, but fuck off. Fucking ridiculous.
How long have they been on the other platforms? When did they come out on the other platforms?
I want to say a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, shit, that long, eh?
Yeah. The whole problem is Capcom is just a weird-ass fucking company.
Is dead horse, Jose. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry.
I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand why they are charging $30. And this was the conclusion I came to last night. This is what they should have done. They should have done all of the games digitally for $20 and had a limited edition bundle where you got like a fucking t-shirt, some other bullshit. They used a big cartridge. Maybe 2 of the 3 games are on there, and charge $100. Yeah. Charge $100 for it, throw in a little collectible thing, a limited edition thing, and then be done with it. But no, somehow, some way, they're justifying, at least in their minds, charging $30 for these games, including Resident Evil 4, which you cannot get physically. And technically, you don't get Resident Evil HD Remaster physically either.
So again, assuming everyone knew, but let's catch everyone up just in case you weren't aware. So Capcom announced new Resident Evil games coming out in May for the Switch. Not new ones, remakes. Resident Evil 0, 4, and the original, right? And all 3 are priced $10 more than on any other platform that's been there far longer. And the thing is, 2 of these 3 games are digital only. So It's weird. It's weird because it's inconsistent with Capcom because the Mega Man game was the same price across the board, and that had a physical copy. And there's a whole there's a
What are
whole
you talking about? Which Mega Man?
Mega Man. Did Mega Man 11 have a physical copy? That one.
But that's not a good example
Because it's a small file size.
Yes.
What about the Mega Man X Legacy collection?
No, you had to download X2.
Oh, did
what
you?
about Mega Man, the NES fucking games? You had to download.
What?
You had to download part 2 of the collection.
Seriously?
It was under 4 gigs for everything.
Oh, wow.
So they decided to just put it on a 1 gig cartridge to save money.
Okay. So I know that there's the legit Switch tax of the whole cartridge, which is a thing that's imposed by Nintendo. Basically, whatever you're selling it for physical, you have to sell it at the same price digital. And oftentimes that means the physical costs more because of the whole proprietary SD card. Not proprietary, but the thing, the SD card. But it's only when it goes above the 8 gig limit, right? Is that it? The Switch
8
tax.
gig limit.
Like there's different cards, right? Is it the 8 gig that's the standard
It depends.
memory size? Like before they get more expensive and you see an obvious bump.
Nobody really knows.
Oh, it's all just speculation at this point?
Yeah, nobody really knows how much. No, the fact of the matter is, though, you've already made your fucking money on these games a million times over.
Yep.
If you had to eat some of the cost, fuck off. Like, these are games from literally the GameCube era. Literally the fucking GameCube era.
Well, you're seeing this too with, Square and Final Fantasy 9. Isn't that $20?
Well, that was the same on the Xbox One. It was $21.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, that one was bad because you're talking about an N64 era, PS1 era game going for $20. Like even Nintendo sells their N64's games at, is it 10 or 15? When it was on the Wii U, on the Wii U eShop.
I want to say the first party were 10. I could be wrong on that though.
I remember buying Pokemon Snap. I think it was 10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So yeah, the fact that these are GameCube games, I don't know. Although how much was? Well, no, that's a whole remake, like Katamari Reroll. They completely remade the game, so that doesn't count. So anyways, I think I'm going to be trying. I said this year, 2019, as the year that I get into Resident Evil. I'm going to be playing it on the PS4 because I'm tired of spending so much money on the Switch stuff. Like it's just so much cheaper on the PS4 at this point to get a bunch of games, and there's really not that. Like I'm going to hate on Nintendo for a bit, but aside, like okay, so I got Yoshi this month. That's my game this month. So there's not too many other first parties coming, so I'm gonna start on my PS4 and save some money.
I mean, that's smart. You do lose the portability aspect, though.
Transrealm saying, how about THQ Nordic? Oh, THQ Nordic. There's another one we didn't talk about. Doing a physical Darksiders on Switch, which uses a 16 gig cart for only $30.
And same thing with Dragon's Dogma, according to Squirrel Emperor.
Yeah, I did not.
And that's a fucking Capcom game.
Maybe it's different departments.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's Capcom. It's the same company.
Yeah. Oh, apparently bad latency. Do you have a source on that saying 16 gig cart supposedly had a massive price cut? I mean, it makes sense. SD memory is getting cheaper, but I haven't seen a source confirming that. So if you could share one, that'd be great. I mean, Mac, I hate to tell you this, but the GameCube era happened almost 20 years ago. I know in my mind, I've been telling myself I'm like just past the mid-20s for a while. And I'm like, holy shit. Did you realize we're entering our mid-30s like officially this year? Have you ever let that settle in?
Nah, I don't care.
No. To me, it's more like, holy shit, like that's not that far from 40s. I need to get like certain things lined up at this point.
Do you?
I do. Dude, I live alone in a corner.
Or does society tell you that you need to? And you're just conforming to societal norms?
Society is definitely putting some pressure, but...
fuck society.
I also feel the personal pressure of getting some stuff in order. Transrealm, yeah. So Capcom is actively trying to rip off Switch games. Do you want to lead the lightning round? We're actually entering lightning round. But let's do the lightning round screen. Lightning. Mixiel, I let that settle in all the time and it depresses me. I mean, it does come down to how you perceive it, really.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Siggy Sar says, "Do you, brah? Channel will get you to the top." I guess I think I shared this story last week with the whole streaming with my kid or playing with my kids' friends.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about it? So that's the thing. Like, I've always thought of, you know, being a content creator online is one life, and then my father life was another thing. There were always two very distinct roles. And pretty much what happened last week is they crossed over at the same time. And I was like, am I supposed to act as a content creator or as a father? Because the two aren't always aligned in the way I behave. And that kind of like threw me for a whole whirl of, oh shit, what do I do? What do I say? But I'm figuring it out. Did anyone see the new Detective Pikachu trailer? Who has not seen the new Detective Pikachu trailer? Is the real question.
I haven't.
You really?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, because you're not going to go see it because you don't do the theater thing.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, man, it's good. It's good. They have, I mean, it's good. It's going to be a good movie. I would put some money on it. Oh, that's cool. Tony says Switch has already surpassed the GameCube when it comes to the number of units.
Mm-hmm.
And the GameCube sold less than the N64, so the next target, I guess, is the N64.
Yes.
N64 total sales. I remember I did this on an episode once of Nintendo and Numbers, comparing the Wii U to everything else, and you pretty much see the NES, the SNES, the N64, the GameCube, the Wii, and then the Wii U. How many units has it sold? Not gonna find it. Oh, 32 million. Isn't it? The Switch is getting close to that though, isn't it? 33 million actually is the N64.
Yeah.
Anyone else here know what it is? The Switch's sales? Tony asks, do you think we won't be hearing Ryan Reynolds' voice of Pikachu in Smash Ultimate? Do you think we won't be hearing Ryan Reynolds' voice of Pikachu in Smash Ultimate? What do you mean by that? Like, after seeing the movie, we're going to hear it in Smash Ultimate? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Arfin asks, have you seen Nintendo characters on the Xbox dashboard? Wonder what that means.
I think that was just a marketing faux pas. He used one of the Squid Girls on a marketing thing on the Xbox store. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Still on the water tonight. Is that flavored water?
Yes.
Strawberry kiwi?
Kiwi strawberry, sir.
Okay. Siggy Sour asks, when the DS dies, are phones going to be the new DS or will they make another system?
I don't think you're going to see another dedicated handheld anytime soon.
The Switch Mini.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
But I don't think we're going to see... What do you think is going to happen to all those games that were clearly mobile games on the 3DS that they were giving for free? They never... I thought we were going to see more of a mobile push from Nintendo. But after... I don't know, they've been pretty quiet on that front.
Well, Mario Kart is supposed to come out this summer. Those games are making a lot of money. That Dragalia Lost is like their most profitable thing.
Which one?
Dragalia Lost or whatever the hell it was called.
I thought it was Fire Emblem.
No,
Heroes.
the other game took over.
Dragalia Lost. What? I hadn't heard about this game. What's this game about? How have I missed this game?
Yeah, I don't know.
This
It's been around for a while.
What is it, like
I don't know. I never played it.
No. This looks pretty decent. I'll have to check that out later. It's on the Mixer thing, says bad latency, and Mixer isn't all Xbox stuff, so there you go.
Yeah.
Alex H asks, you think they will bring Star Fox Zero over to the Switch with the controls rework? I really think they should. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer. It was a pretty good game, and Miyamoto was clearly saddened by the sales numbers and reception.
But I don't think they will.
Oh, that's another thing I want to ask you. What do you think of Nintendo's new CEO's strategy? If you've put any thought into it.
I haven't, because we haven't really seen anything from it yet.
That's fair. I guess.
I mean, we haven't.
No, I know that's that. The thought actually just came out. Like, you know, it was clear what Iwata strategy was. I got like sidetracked into researching a whole bunch of old stuff. Actually, let's pull this up. Like, I was reading up like what happened to Nintendo's the whole life thing. Remember, that was
quality of
life. Yeah. And Iwata was like, work on this device that would help you track your sleep and all that. And like, it's just been quiet since Iwata's been gone. So it sounds like, you know, all that's been canned. The CEO after Iwata, like, it looks like his job was pretty much just to oversee the launch of the Switch, make sure everything was good. And now we've got this new CEO, but we have no idea what direction he's going to be taking Nintendo in. So another quote, actually, I forgot to bring up tonight is, while looking at some like old articles, there's one from May 2016 where Iwata is talking about the NX, and his quote is, when the NX is released, the Wii U business will slow. However, the NX is neither the successor to the Wii U nor to the 3DS. It's a new way of playing games, which I think will have a larger impact than the Wii U, but I don't feel it's a pure replacement for the Wii U.
It's definitely not.
And you know, when we saw this quote, I remember back on Nintendo Enthusiast, we would look at it and we saw this as a third pillar, right? You had the Wii U, the 3DS, and the NX was like this ecosystem or this third pillar, because that's how we were imagining it. But to look back now, 2 years after the Switch's release at this quote, I see it now. He was talking about something that was so different than the 3DS and Wii U. He wasn't even comparing them side by side. It wasn't that they were going to coexist into this beautiful ecosystem. It's just that the Switch was so freaking different. He didn't want it compared to the Wii U and the 3DS. It's like a full evolution. That's how I interpret it now.
Well, they also did that shit with the DS and the Game Boy. The DS wasn't gonna overtake the Game Boy. It was supposed to be a whole separate thing, and then we see how that turned out.
Yep. Sean G says, Sean, I'm going to have to send you a real water bottle.
I mean, these are just throwaway ones. Individual.
Are you recycling, sir?
No.
Arfin asks, or says, hope we get a Bowser GTA style game. Unlikely, but it would be cool. RP Space G asks, since all the major titles from Nintendo are out, would you see big DLC coming to their big titles like Mario or Zelda?
I mean, I'm still waiting on Mario DLC. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any.
Wait, a year ago you were like against it. You're like, we don't need DLC.
For Odyssey?
Yeah, I was all like, make some new kingdoms, and you're like, yeah, we don't need that. It's a good full game.
No, I never said that.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go dig through like 70 hours of Class vs. Crass, but I swear you said it a year ago.
No, I never did.
All right. I would hope so. I mean, I think DLC for those games works a lot better than, you know, putting out a full new game. Especially Mario Odyssey lends itself very well to DLC format. You just add in a few new kingdoms and you put a price tag on that. Go for it.
Yeah.
Just accept the bottle, man. Yeah, I'm still waiting on the Mario Sunshine remake in the Odyssey engine.
I don't know. I don't think Sunshine is that good.
I didn't like it either. It's the one Mario game that I had no problem putting down and stepping away from.
Yeah.
And this year seems to be the year of 2D Mario, so I don't think we're going to see any 3D Mario for a bit. You know, you got Mario Maker, you just got Mario Deluxe.
Any news on 3DS party or third-party docks still not being safe? I think it was just Nyko docks that weren't safe, because it seemed like every other ones, like the Insignia ones from Best Buy and shit, were fine the whole time. I think it was just the Nyko docks were fucking things up.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much on that side. CMTZ asks, have you seen your numbers grow, Jay? Well, I mean,
Numbers.
My numbos. I think you can see for yourself if the videos are growing. There is growth at the channel. Yes. Even tonight, actually, you know, tonight we got 60 live viewers here, which is a nice boost over the regular viewership.
Mm-hmm.
Arfin says, never liked Sunshine either. Brother loved it, though.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just, I don't know. I didn't like the whole water mechanic.
Yeah. I like the idea of cleaning up the town, but the controls felt off.
I don't like cleaning. So why do I want to clean a town in a video game?
I don't know. I can't say. I do like cleaning. That's actually how I relax if I'm stressed out. If my house is clean, you know I've been stressed. If my house is dirty, you know I'm chill. What heartbeat sound?
I have no idea.
That's weird. Any game in the next few weeks you're excited about? Yoshi? Yoshi's coming soon.
Devil May Cry 5. I think I'm getting a review copy of it.
Oh man, I didn't even play my PS Plus games for February. Shit. Oh man. Yeah, we get new PlayStation games for PS Plus members on Tuesday. And I know For Honor was a free one for February. I always want to try For Honor, but I didn't want to pay money for it.
So, whoopity-doo.
You don't care, eh? Have you tried it?
For Honor, I played the beta, and I was like, there's no fucking way this is worth $60. You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I was in the same boat as you. That's why I didn't buy it. But for free, I'll take that.
I guess.
Wasn't there an indie game coming soon? Oh, there's the new Shovel Knight, the last Shovel Knight DLC pack's coming soon. I want that. The King of Cards or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff coming out. I gotta buy that stupid baseball game that comes out Tuesday.
What stupid baseball game?
There's a new RBI baseball for the Switch, and I review them every year.
No. There's a quiet heartbeat sound. I'm not crazy. I don't know. I can't hear it. That sounds freaky. I don't know. Is it? You know, just look at my tabs. There's nothing on my
That's
computer.
the telltale heart.
I don't get it. Trail's Realm, Shovel Knight got pushed back a bit. I know it's a bit, but it's... Oh, we got Meat Boy coming in May. I was excited.
What do we have?
Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy.
The
next Super Meat Boy. Oh, yeah, the Child of Light is out. The pack where you get Child of Light and the Valiant Hearts. Child of Light is a good game. I do recommend it if you want an old style RPG. What's wrong with eating a pickle with a fork?
Yeah, I played Child of Light.
Yeah. Tony says I played the Dead or Alive 6 demo on PS4 Pro, and it was an okay game. I haven't touched Dead or Alive since the PlayStation 2 days.
Last one I played was on the 3DS, Dead or Alive Dimensions.
It sounds like you played a lot of 3DS.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I also played a lot of Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 4 was really good on the Xbox 360. That was like one of the launch games that really stood out.
I've never actually enjoyed handheld gaming much. As a kid, I didn't have a handheld. Even my Switch, I play it docked. It's funny because my son, he'll sit on the couch, but he'll go and he'll grab the Switch and he always plays handheld. I was like, oh, how can you do that? Play on the big screen.
I play a lot of handheld.
Dave asks, what's your top 5 Switch games? Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, The Messenger. Completely going off memory right now. Sean, give me 2 more. That are like clear winners.
Smash.
Smash. Smash is good. Octopath Traveler was good too. Those are the 5 that came to mind right now. But, you know, I could probably take some time and do a proper top 5 list. What are yours? Princess?
I don't know.
One of your best. One of your favorites.
Odyssey.
Doom?
Yeah, I'd say Doom was on there too.
How about this? What is your biggest regret? Like, what is your biggest purchase regret on the Switch?
WWE 2K18.
You actually bought that?
Yeah.
Thinking it'd be good?
Somewhat.
Mine is a Skyrim. I bought it on Christmas Eve for a full $80 plus tax, $90. I play it for 5 hours, and I don't want to touch it again.
Really?
Yeah, I can't get into it. I'm at this part, a giant keeps killing me, and I just don't care. I don't care. And I feel like, I spent so much money on this.
You should play it more. There's so much you can do.
I know, I hear about that. It's like, it's overwhelming. It's too much. And after playing Breath of the Wild, I'm just like, I don't care. Okay, Xenoblade 2 I haven't played, so it can't be on my list. But the fact that 4 of you have called it out, I might need to try it.
I like Ys 8 better than Xenoblade 2.
Oh, I need to try Guacamelee 2. Now, there's a game I should have bought.
It's true.
Like, I know I'm going to get good value there. What are my 3 favorite indies? Well, I mean, The Messenger. You've got Shovel Knight. Oh, and Hollow Knight. There you go.
He likes the Knights.
I do like the Knights.
All right, I have to pee really bad.
All right, well, let's wrap it up then. Thanks everyone for joining. Sean, where can people find you? What do you got coming up other than
you can find me on RGT. Oh wow, you regret Ys 8? That's foolish. That's one of my favorite games. You can find me on RGT 85. I have no clue what I'm doing this week. There's a snowstorm, so I'm not leaving my house tomorrow. So I don't know. Actually, I came up with the video idea that's gonna be. It's either going to do really fucking good or no one's going to give a shit. And I'm going to film that tomorrow. Should there be a PlayStation Classic 2?
A PlayStation
and the answer,
2 Classic or a PlayStation Classic 2?
PlayStation Classic 2.
Oh boy.
And the answer may surprise you.
It definitely will. Dave, I don't buy physical anymore. I just like having everything on the system. So I just get...
I counted my physical Switch games last night. It's not as many as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
61.
That's quite a bit. You could probably count all mine right here. I think it's like 12 physical, not even, maybe 7.
I think it was 61.
Wow. Well, I got a little ambitious and I thought I'd get a Switch 2-year anniversary video out today, but I didn't, even though I half scripted it. So I might finish that. I have to leave town for the next few days, so I don't even know if I can do the Wednesday feature. I'm actually going to be struggling. But tomorrow there's another Indie Corner dropping. And then we're going to do the news show as usual on Saturday. Hey J News. Otherwise, if this is your first time joining us on this podcast, like it, subscribe, share with a friend. We're going to be back next week. And until then, keep it classy. Or as Sean would say.
Keep it crassy.
Do you ever say that on your channel?
No.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Hey, remember when you used to sing with the end? I used to have a little splash screen at the end to show